What's up, nerds? Back with another daily vlog. This is actually a weekend vlog, but I edited it so it's a little bit more of a one-day type thing. But this was actually a multiple-day trip. I just didn't get a whole lot of footage of certain areas, so we're just going to kind of pretend like it's one day, mix it all together. So this is the festival grounds. It's in Manchester, Vermont. I don't have the name of it off the top of my head, but I'm sure if you just Google Green Mountain Bluegrass and Roots, it'll show up. And something that I really liked about this, very similar to another festival I go to in Rhode Island, which is called Rhythm and Roots, is that it had paved roads and some pretty decent dirt roads. I mean, obviously you could see there's a little bit of dirt, a little bit of paved here, but it was more than paved enough for me to be able to ride the one wheel around, which was pretty huge because I do not like taking a shower after a long shift and then immediately start sweating my ass off on the way back to the campsite. So this was the main road, and just to give you a little bit of an idea, we're driving past the RV camping right now and some of the generator camping, and we'll see a little bit more of the actual campsite coming up. But it's pretty cool. They had a enclosed kind of area, which we'll be going into later. But this was essentially my route to get to my campsite. And you can see back in the left, they have the campgrounds to the left. They've got camping, quiet camping to the back right. And we'll keep going down the hill a little bit. And this is me. And something that everybody that I saw, or at least that spoke up to me, was like, oh my God, it's so cool, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I don't think I'm cool riding the one wheel. I just genuinely don't like sweating, and having the one wheel to just be able to cruise along and be able to handle going on the grass. I actually just fell off because there was a pothole in the ground. You didn't see it, but I fell off. But yeah, this is the campsite. They're my neighbors. I had pretty cool neighbors. Everybody in general is really cool at these kinds of things. Everybody's pretty, relaxed and chilled out, as long as you don't talk politics, because we are in the middle of Vermont. So this was my campsite. I've got two main things. I've got my bug net and my main camping tent. And I'm a big fan of cot camping. I love it raised up off the ground. I've got my Tempur-Pedic mattress. It was a beautiful day out, so I got to leave the roof open, and I love being able to stand up in my tent. That's why I've got such a big tent. And then my bug net area, which is basically where we eat, or I eat, do food stuff, any drinking, hanging out, because obviously, do not want to be eating out in the open with all of these bugs. It is still summertime, and they are still out in full force. But between a citronella and the bug screen, we are vibing. So here's a little bit of where, some of the transitions. You'll see the day to night time, a little bit off with the editing, can't magically change the time of day. But here's the entrance to the main campground, or the main festival area, which is a little different than the festivals I normally go to, which don't have a entrance area. But I guess this is part of what's nice about being a vendor over here, is they force you to buy food, alcohol, whatever else. You can't bring anything like that into here. I'm sure you could if you really wanted to, if you wanted to hide it, but then you risk getting kicked out and banned from the festival. So, and a lot of these people, again, most of these free-spirited Vermonters, most of these kind of hippie, good old boy, well, not good old boy in the racist Southern way. I mean, good old boy, kind of old school Bible people, Bluegrass is, Christian hippie music, or hippie country music, not as much driving trucks and beating your wives, and more just playing some intense, string music.
It's out of a single time. Well, he must have took to walking boys. He must have took to the year. Our heavy tracks just disappeared off in all thin and unmarked grave. They did not call a preacher, cause the family was disgraced. Heard Daddy Frank's a fool's long gone, cause he wasn't never told. And once when Mama came to pray, she found a pistol and a rose. And you can't outrun the Mississippi River in a Shelby GT4. You can't outrun the angels, you can't outrun the Lord. And you can't outrun a broken heart that gives in to God. And you can't outrun the Grim Reaper once a deed is done. No, you can't outrun the Grim Reaper once a deed is done.
Lipstick on your collar, no rubber written on the dollar bill. I can't help but wonder where you've been tonight. I can't shake the way it makes me feel. I ain't found no proof, but I won't play the fool. I won't stand by and watch you do me wrong. You can't lie when one eye. One day I'll know where you go. Don't come home. That's right. Are you drinking? Are you gambling? Have you found another woman? These questions keep on running through my mind. All this time together, I trusted you completely. I never thought you were a cheating kind. Yeah, I ain't found no proof, but I won't play the fool. I won't stand by and watch you do me wrong. You can lie when one lie. One day I'll know where you go when you don't come home. That's right. And I'm all out of worrying. Have your car sneaking up the drive. I only asked you once where you been tonight. You can tell the truth to me this for fine. Yeah, I ain't found no proof, but I won't play the fool. I won't stand by and watch you do me wrong. You can't lie when one lie. One day I'll know where you go when you don't come home. Where do you go when you don't come home?
All right, so that was the Steeldrivers. Figured I'd put a song in there because I've got a couple songs from a couple random bands, but they are not part of the full set stuff, which I'll have in the description below. I've got Jason Carter full set and Christian Settlemeyer full set, and so those are on the channel. I just figured I'd throw in some of the other bands that I saw and some of their videos. So right now we got the Trash POV. So basically, at these bluegrass festivals, I like to do trash crew. I go to a couple other festivals, volunteer at, and I don't do trash for them just because I like working with this one guy or working for this one guy, I should say. And he does trash for these festivals. So while I go to these festivals, I work trash for him. So this is kind of more detailed walkthrough of the festivals. Going to also stop and check the trash levels of everything. So basically, there is the main stage section. There's a sort of dance stage section. You can see all these people on the left right now gathering and listening to something. That's kind of the in-between people playing stage. Over here on the left, you see some people dancing. It's kind of like the, waiting for the main stage to, come back on little stage area. And there's a whole bunch of different trash cans in this place. I mean, I think there was, just in this area alone, there was 6 main trash areas. And coming up, you'll see to the stage left, if you're standing on the stage. For us people watching, it's on the right. There is a big empty area separated by a fence. That's kind of the dancing area. And then you see all of the rows of chairs. And if you notice that Lawson sign and that white sign on the left, we're going to be passing by where my chair is. My chair's over there on the left. We just walked past it. And it was a pretty good spot. I actually moved my chair because there was a little bit too many lights from the vendors. So I actually moved my chair up over to be on the left on the other side of the tent. We just passed it too. You can't see it right now. And so we got the food vendors and everything like that on the right side. And then over here on the left side, we've got different clothing vendors, different tchotchkes, different, custom stuff made by whatever people came through. There's jewelry people, there's dress and clothing people, there's people doing massages, there's all sorts of stuff. Here is the little dance tent stage that they had going on, and shade tent as well. When it wasn't doing shade, it had people that were doing dance lessons and different in between the festival type stuff. But just wanted to do a little bit of a trash POV, get a little bit more in-depth look at the festival. And over here on the left, you see all these different canopies and all these different shade tents. Something that I like is that they let you bring in shade, canopy shade stuff, and they have a whole area, so it doesn't matter, if you're blocking anybody or anything like that, because the whole point of it is to block the sun, and so nobody cares if, you're blocking stuff from behind them. And then we've got first aid people, lost and found, a little bit of a charging area. And that's kind of the main inside of the festival area. And then there's, bike areas. So did my trash crew, got disgustingly sweaty, lifted a whole bunch of trash, and now it's time to make some munchies because the shift was in the morning and afternoon time, so I had plenty of time to make myself lunch and dinner. And so I am a huge fan of cold cuts and fruit, especially because, just a whole lot of protein, a lot of good sugars, a lot of good electrolyte stuff, and, it's just cheap, it's easy to do, and it's one of my favorite festival foods, easy to store, in the future, if I had maybe if I was borrowing my dad's truck, maybe if I had easier access to electricity or something, maybe I'd want to bring, more, different types of stuff. But for right now, all I had was the cooler with me. All I had is plastic forks, plastic knives, and little area. So I was just like, you know what? We're just going to deli it up and I didn't bring any bread. Instead, I brought a bunch of romaine lettuce heads because I am obsessed with lettuce wraps. Whenever I go to Five Guys and get anything from Five Guys, I always do lettuce wrap for everything. I mean, sometimes, let's say I get like a double burger from Five Guys. Sometimes I'll do the bread on the side and the gluten-free bread because it is just, too good to be true. I mean, and, I'll be okay with the calories. It's like probably an extra 200, 300 calories from the bread. But, once in a while, it's all right. I'm not like totally carb-free or anything like that. And while I do try and eat clean, I'm definitely not going to sit here and pretend like I don't love me some sauce. So put some mayo and mustard on it, put the cheese down on top to kind of spread it out. And then after that, we are loading everything up. For this one, I have turkey, ham, and chicken. I ended up buying a whole bunch of different cold cuts, but that was what I did for these ones. And this is part of what I love about these wraps. I mean, it is just so easy. I mean, you just roll everything up, slide it into the romaine. I mean, it's already kind of like a little, sled to put everything, and then top it off. And I mean, we're good to go. We're ready to munch it up. And so couldn't ask for a better day. It was a great little festival. Got to take some pictures for the homies, you already know. And then after all said and done, we got our trash crew out of the way. We got our munchies all set up. And you already know that means it is time for a nice cold beer. In this case, I've got Two Turnt Teas. Shout out Two Turnt Tony. And it is time to absolutely demolish this and get ready for the next show.
As is tradition, we're going to leave you with a Bob Marley tune. Thank you guys. We love you. on the mandolin, it's Dan Bowie. Dan Bowie on the mandolin.
Over on the guitar, that's Ethan Robbins. Ethan Robbins on the guitar.
On the flute, that's Ann Fung, y'all.
On the fiddle and vocals, that's Miss Kathleen Burt.
We're Twisted Pie. Thank you so much, y'all. We love you. 1, 2, 3.
All right, so on to one of the cooler parts of the festival. There's a lot of cool stuff that's happening here, and there's a lot of real nice aspects to it. I think definitely one of the things that attracts people is this lamplighter stage, which you have to go through this little journey in the woods, which is what you're watching now, obviously. The camera doesn't pick up the low light regions so great. It gets a little bit brighter. There are more lights. You can see kind of those areas in the trees where there's lights, highlighting some of the areas. It's not exactly great though, and so I wish if you're in the area, if you can get to Vermont, Green Mountain Bluegrass, check it out. But here we get a little bit better view. So they've got different lights in the trees. They've got different string lights hanging between the trees. And so you're walking through this maybe 1/10 of a mile. It's not really a super long distance, but you're walking through this forest, following this path. Everyone's going to go listen to music. And then after you get through this area, it widens out. You've got a significantly more amount of space. And then there's this cool stage in the background, the lamplighter stage. And that's where I uploaded the majority of my full sets. I had Friday and Saturday nights, got the full sets of Jason Carter and Christian Settlemeyer. I'll link those in the description below. But this is the area, how you got there to that stage. And it's definitely way smaller, more intimate stage. There's not a whole lot of microphones. There's just really the 1 or 2 microphones. You've got the one instrument microphone. You've got the one main vocal microphone. You've only got 2 speakers. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was still loud. I mean, you could still hear this music from the main festival. You can still hear it throughout the local area. But it definitely was not anywhere near as loud as the main stage with all of the insane amount of speakers and everything. But this was, really cool. Cool thing that they did. Part of it is to get around sound ordinances, and I think part of it is also just, something different. I think it's a real great job by the promoters to have kind of this different aspect to the show. It's not just, seeing music, just on a big stage. You've got this different aspect to it, which I thought was really cool.
I'm still learning it. We hope you like it today. This one's called Bluegrass Breakdown.
All right, so after everything's all said and done, it's, now 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. You already know what it means. It's pitch black out. I'm feeling the vibes. That means it is time to whip out the saber and have some fun. So just throwing it around, working on some different techniques, mainly working on left hand, right hand spins, working on my elbow rotation, working on making sure I'm grabbing, at night. This was cross guard, obviously, so it's a little bit different than the main saber because, you've got the two little mini sabers on the side that can get in the way a little bit. But yeah, overall, real fun festival, super fun. It was a great time working with my trash crew associates. Had a bunch of good food. They did breakfast in the mornings, and it was a real healthy breakfast. I mean, we're talking a big ass breakfast burrito, a bunch of home fries, no BS. Combine that with I brought a good amount of beers, I brought a good amount of cold cuts. Everything like that was just, a real great fun time. And the only thing that was really, different was the temperature change between morning and night. 2 days, it was cold as hell. I mean, like once the sun went down, it dropped down to 50 degrees within 20-30 minutes. It got cold quick. And then this day, the last day where I'm sabering, it was still, after the sun went down, it was probably still 85 degrees out. So Vermont temperature, a little bit different than what I'm used to as far as like bluegrass festivals, summer festivals. But hey, it's a small gripe. Who cares? Because they had really nice showers, like showers inside of an actual building. So, hey, you get a little sweaty, who cares? And, that's the vlog. Thanks for watching. Smoke grass, eat ass, be excellent to each other. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Deuces.
Like the vid, leave a word, drop a comment, get absurd, subscribe if you had some fun. We drop bangers one by one. Check the description down below for all the links you need to know. Thanks for watching, you're the best. Now go